This one's another 2 video one.
Oh,
Did
it
we
is?
decide what we're gonna do?
Yeah, it's that same person or whoever's doing that.
All right. Well,
Bet there's 2 or 3 pieces on there, huh?
let's just watch them both and see what happens, I guess. I don't know. We weren't consistent with that before, but let's just see what happens if they're short. No audio. Oh. Hearing that like airplane going overhead again. Did you share audio when you shared the screen?
Let me try unsharing and then share again.
Okay.
Sorry.
No problem. Different Zoom. Sometimes the settings change.
Okay, y'all should be able to hear now.
Pick any street in Mayfield and there's a story. North Street.
I got 3 dump trucks running back and forth. We're going to the dump, getting all the metal out, separating it to recycle, debris, concrete block, et cetera, et cetera.
I've got barbecue sandwiches and fries.
Broadway Street.
We saw a need in the community, and our community reached out to us wanting to help in some way.
South Street.
There's pieces of signs, pieces of walls, shingles off the roofs. Just want to help in any way I can. I know there's a lot of people who've lost a lot.
I think that's my dad right there, maybe.
And then there's 6th and Ann Street,
We're trying to look for some old family pictures.
where Logan Davis is searching for family photos in what was his cousin's home.
I think they found about 5 so far. There's some that we found on Facebook. It was like 100 miles away up north. Somebody posted it on Facebook and we found it that way.
Everyone in his family is accounted for.
That's this house, I can tell by the wall.
But salvaging a few family photos would help raise their spirits. So much around Davis has been knocked down.
It just came around the corner and hit him.
In Mayfield, there's a story on every corner, each one unique, yet connected by tragedy. Rest assured, the next chapter will be about triumph. Jonathan Gregg, Spectrum News.
So this is the
Everywhere you turn.
Let's okay, so make a comment on that, and then if you want to create a second line or something, or here, I'll do it.
So it's all about the photog on this, right? No writing,
Yep,
none of
all
that.
about the photog. Yep.
That one is called Logan Davis, I think is what they called it on the original slate, I think.
Problem is, it's a new system, so I don't know. I'm not sure what to do here, but we're just gonna see how it goes here. There now.
I don't know if, I know this is what I did yesterday, following Bob's instructions. I always give the entry a number.
Yeah, if you guys can do that, that would be great. Give it a five-star rating, 5 being the best, and that way maybe we can, that'll help us determine at the end. So if you can put that in, doesn't mean you're stuck to that, but it might remind you later. All right, go ahead and roll the next one.
everywhere you turn, is another story of survival.
Their ceiling came down. I was stuck for a couple seconds right there.
Whether it's Adrian Puckett,
My husband was yelling, "Help, we're trapped."
Angela Wheeler,
And it just happened we had a neighbor that finally heard us.
And we're just thankful God took care of us.
Jerry Crouch.
That's the only thing I can say about it.
The deadly Mayfield tornado has been more destructive than most people could imagine.
All that air pressure shot through the windows, and there was glass and air flying all over the place. I was shot up against the wall.
Puckett and his wife survived.
Went back to the closet and jumped in there with my wife.
But it was a street fight.
I had to hold the door shut. I could barely hold the door shut.
Everyone and everything was pushed around or knocked down.
We could hear things falling. We wasn't for sure if it was trying to shift for the house to fall over or what when we was trying to get out, and it was probably 30 minutes before we finally got help.
The main focus I have.
Help came, and it keeps coming, with volunteer groups from around the country descending into Mayfield.
A lot of these soldiers are volunteering their time, been approved to come out here and help. So we're going out and we're just checking for survivors. We're checking for anybody that's injured, anybody that's in need.
The tornado passed in minutes, and what it did is hard to comprehend.
And I knew I could see right then that everything was gone. Like I said, that's material things. It's nothing that can't be replaced.
But the resolve the people of Mayfield have is clear as day.
In Mayfield, Jonathan Gregg, Spectrum News.
Jessica, can you tell me what the names of those two stories were so I can just put them in?
On Every Corner was the first one.
Okay.
And the second one was Pushed Around, Knocked Down.
Okay. I think we're gonna have the same problem with the next one, which is deadline photography.
I think the second one's just a picture.
Oh, okay. Well, that'd be good. Thumbs up when you guys are ready. Okay, go ahead and roll the next one.
It's been pretty miserable out here. 45 miles per hour usually applies to the cars driving into Marshall. Today, it was an accurate measurement of the wind. Screaming wind, blizzard wind,
no in-person classes or
and all activities canceled wind.
SMSU is closed.
I'd rather be safe than sorry, I guess.
Lori Wenzel will spend her second night stranded at a Marshall motel rather than try to drive home on roads like these.
No. No.
The Minnesota State Patrol tweeted a steady stream of drivers who might recommend Lori's decision. This jackknife semi near I-94 near Moorhead. This rollover near Downey. Conditions so bad overnight, some southwestern Minnesota counties pulled plows off the roads.
Just got stuck in the snow.
Bob Jaster barely had time for a breath between toes.
A lot of snow blew past me, and I couldn't see the drift in front of me, and just got hung up on top of the snow.
Marshall's sob story.
I've had enough of this.
Cars lose. Wind wins.
It doesn't get any much worse than this in Minnesota.
That was deadline photography. The next one will be It's Like Dust.
Oh, wait. Hang on a minute. Yeah.
Go ahead and roll the next one. It's like dust.
Wait, I'm sorry. Hang on. Just a minute. What's this called? Dust?
It's like dust.
Thank you. Sorry. Give me just a second. Gotta get my rhythm. Am I not muted?
I mean, when you go up there, it's like dust.
They walked away, unsure what they'd come back to.
Hello.
Dawn Pollock lives here.
Thank you for calling. We're sort of a wreck.
When the sun came up, she knew.
We lost everything. The house is like, nothing is recognizable.
The homes near Harper Lake match in a way they were never meant to.
That's how we discovered where the house was.
Yeah.
This was in the front of the house.
That's how we...
The one thing they recognized was this.
But the wheels melted.
Small pieces of Dawn's home were all that were spared.
I don't normally shake.
What wasn't will keep her up at night.
I had a very extensive art collection that I inherited from my father. I didn't take any of it out. And I'm just so angry at myself, you know. How could I have not taken at least one of them? I could hear my father saying, you know, be glad that you're safe. But I don't know. I don't know how you make sense of this.
She may never know that answer, but today she walks away with what she always knew.
We stayed up all night long just hugging each other. Just glad that we have each other and we have our kids.
The next one will be It's Overwhelming.
Question, what was just the still photography image?
They have to the way the entry portal is set up, you have to put a an image up or something like that. It's sort of strange. I'm not really sure because I didn't do the entering, but there was a space for that. So a lot of them just threw a photo up, like a thumbnail.
I didn't see the thumbnail to judge.
I
might have been on the other spreadsheet typing.
No,
You didn't judge the thumbnail.
Yeah, we
Oh.
didn't judge that. It's just that
Okay.
they just threw it up there for the entry. It wasn't to judge it. It's just as part of a, I don't know, there was a space to put a thumbnail.
Okay.
Yeah. No problem. All right. Well, it's overwhelming is next.
It's trying to creep in, that sound.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
It was a caravan. It was a parade to come help and make a statement.
This has been a tough couple of days.
I just had this crazy idea that let's do this.
That's my house right next door. All that stuff, plus next door. And we're not finished.
But there was no central distribution point. I just became the central distribution point.
Pretty much it destroyed our home.
This is Andrew. He's got the house in the corner. Bring as much of the bleach as possible. We wanted to make an impact to a couple streets today.
Lose up to our chest. Oh my God.
Bring it here.
That's how fast it came in?
It's about a foot high into our dining room and kitchen.
Our entire shed got swept away with everything in it.
Custom built shed he built like 25, 40 feet.
The loss is I've never experienced something this great before. And I've been here on this block for 30 years.
Food, dry goods, non-perishables. We had clothing sorted.
Gives us hope that, you know, with the help of our community and our neighbors and our family and our friends that, you know, we're gonna, you know, pull through this.
Oh, we need that. Supplies?
Yeah. You need sprayer?
If you could put that right there, that would be...
So we have sprayers, we have bleach.
What we need is just to get our house, back in order to take the next step. And he said we're going to be here.
Dropped off half and half to two of the most impacted streets in town.
It's overwhelming. So heartfelt that the community is coming. Again, born and raised here, I know what everybody's made out of.
Run up the street, both sides, see if anyone needs shop vacs. We also brought a couple new fans that we picked up this morning.
When you see the amount of damage done, you realize there's no way you can do this by yourself.
Never expected it, but it's wonderful.
Take these, as people need.
Thank you. It truly means a lot.
Anything you guys need.
I mean, this has got to be a one-man band, right? Because there are so many bites and naps on that I feel like by the time a reporter finished writing and gave the photographer time to go sort through all that stuff, it might be really tight. 4 hours.
I know, that's crazy.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. Okay. Let's see, that one was It's Overwhelming, right?
Yep.
The next one will be There Was No Way to Get Him Out.
Shattered partitions and leveled furniture. All that remain outside Rosa Toro restaurant in Astoria.
What time was it?
About 8 o'clock.
24 hours earlier, police say a 60-year-old driver attempting to bypass a slow-moving car barreled into two parked cars and a moped along 35th Street before crashing into the outdoor dining room.
She had to be going well over 50 miles an hour.
Surveillance footage capturing the chaotic moment. While no one was eating in the outdoor space, a food delivery worker, identified as 37-year-old Zing Lin, was on that moped.
He was underneath the car, but he was stuck, and we couldn't get any way. There was no way to get him out.
He was rushed to a nearby hospital where he was pronounced dead. The tragedy, preventable, residents say, in the neighborhood where unfortunately speeding and outdoor dining is a way of life.
It's just terrible. People lose their life trying to have a meal.
1 minute is not going to make a difference in wherever it is that you're going. Everybody should just slow down.
The fatal crash happens just as the city council approved a bill to make its open streets program permanent. Mayor de Blasio, who passed along his condolences to the victim's family, tweeted there is zero tolerance for reckless driving. But advocates say the mayor's inaction to implement permanent infrastructure that protects pedestrians should be in the spotlight.
He needs to put some stakes in the ground, literally, to make safer spaces for people to be dining outside. We've called this for 12 months now, we've called for real permanent solutions.
Meanwhile, back at Rosa Toro's, the struggling business which had just opened back up now forced to once again shut down as they assess the damage.
The hospitality industry in general is taking some hits, but this one definitely hurts our team a little bit more.
Teaching 911 is the next one. And by the way, if that is in contention, we may have to look at it for how much file video was used versus you can use 10% of your story can be like file video, I guess. So if that's
I was thinking that.
If that's in contention, I'll have to go and look at it and get a percentage and figure it out. You guys ready?
Yep.
Hang on, what's next called? Teaching 911? I'm ready.
Many of us remember where we were.
I was in the 6th grade.
When we heard about the attacks on September 11th, 2001.
I see that Tower 1 on fire and the second plane coming through. I see it all the time, and I'll never not think about that on 9/11.
That vivid image impacted people in every part of the United States.
What happened on 9/11? This is on your next Post-it note that you have.
Mrs. Brittany Payne was about this age, watching the news unfold.
I'm a 5th grade teacher at the Classical Center at Vile Elementary. Honor and remember the people you love. Ooh, honor and remember. I love those words.
For students today weren't born until a decade after 9/11, but 20 years later, they are learning what we learned that day.
On September 11, 2001, a bunch of messed up people hijacked airplanes full of innocent people to crash them into the Twin Towers. And then a plane hit the Pentagon.
Many people lost their lives.
Her 5th graders are grasping the facts of 9/11, but she's challenging them to feel.
The assignment was they were to pretend that they were reporters and interview an adult in their life.
Like Mrs. Payne, every parent.
My dad said that at the time he was putting on his backpack to go to school.
Every adult they asked remembers exactly where they were.
Being from New York, it really hit close to home. Seeing the people jump from the windows was the most heartbreaking thing ever. I was sad because I saw people dying on TV.
They remember the fear and the hate.
He said that I believe that ever since that happened, other cultures are being treated unfairly.
They remember the change.
There's more security on airport, more people join the military.
And they remember the healing this generation will carry forward.
Other people became heroes. Neighbors and strangers felt a new bond.
In Garland.
20 years. I can't believe it.
I'm Tiffany Liu.
So not to digress, but lots of people are using that new Rode mic. They really like it.
I love it. I use it.
Do you?
Got it. Yeah.
It's just a little clip on. That's what it is. It comes in black or white.
Yeah, I actually have it right here.
This just seems a little blocky sometimes, you know what I mean? But I think you can add that extension microphone, right?
Yeah, you can add a mic, but yeah, I've got the one with the 2 transmitters, which is awesome.
I'm not looking at you. Hang on, I'm not looking at you. 2 transmitters.
Yeah, it's got a little there's a little windscreen that goes there. So it's bulky but here's the thing. Yes, you can add an external lav, which is fine. But this new one has 7 hours of record time in a digital recorder in the little transmitter.
That's cool.
So as soon as you turn them on, the audio is rolling. So if you have a blip to your camera, your phone, the audio will always be there if you need it. Or if you start and stop, you'll always get it recorded. The other thing I love about this is that so when you're in a quick hurry, man, you go, instead of like run the lav up, it's just you just quickly throw it on there. I mean, it doesn't take
that was a COVID thing because you could hand it to somebody and they could mic themselves.
Yeah. So even though it's bulky, people are starting to understand it's okay. I'd rather see this than a long cord for some reason. I don't know.
Totally agree.
Yeah, I love it. Okay, the next one is this is Dan Blommel.
Ooh.
The best news that we could have hoped for.
After nearly 2 weeks of worry, tonight, support in Gallatin showed up by the carload, counting on.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
This night.
We're going to do a parade for Noah when he gets home from the airport. Welcome home.
This community knows not all Amber Alerts end this way.
I know a lot of people were praying for Noah over the last couple of weeks. So it's great news to hear him coming home.
Oh, I'm sure he'll love it. Paw Patrol, all the colors, blue, green, kid stuff.
But after a trek all the way to California and back, Noah Claire's friend Hudson didn't have to wait any longer.
He's right there, look at him! Look at him!
A welcome home to match the size of this neighborhood's heart. And just like that, Noah is back. Like any 3-year-old, he's got some Paw Patrol to watch and some friends to catch up with.
Are you so happy that he's back? Your best bud's back.
But how good it must feel to be home again.
Thank you guys so much.
Jason Lamb,
It's a happy, happy day.
News Channel 5.
Bye. What is that? Oh, thank you. Oh, that's dangerous. Thank you.
Soldier remains returned. Soldier remains returned is next.
Man, it is cold here.
Is it cold? What is it,
Yeah.
60? I think
Yeah.
it's 12 here.
I'm in the basement, so there's no heat, not much heat. I live in a tiny house, so it's like literally you walk 5 feet in, you're halfway out the door in the back. So our basement is kind of a storage / kids playroom area, and so
I'm ready.
we're shopping for a house, but there's none out there.
Yeah.
Where do you live? Michigan?
Yep. In southeast side of Michigan, southeast side of Grand Rapids, so Alger
How
Heights.
does it? Colorado too. No houses.
We're about what, 20 minutes away from each other.
Yeah, we're not far. Yeah, I've been trying to get out of this house for a long time, but my wife loves this. This neighborhood is pretty cool.
It is a neat one, for sure.
Yeah.
Alger Heights. Got some nice little restaurants over there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we ready for the next one? Soldier remains. All right, let's do it.
Thank you for the honor of inviting us.
For nearly 80 years, their story had an ending.
I never thought it would be like this, you know that?
David Bass and Joan Mackey had accepted their loss and mostly moved on.
For decades, really, he was a picture on my grandmother's dresser. Uncle Freddie lost in the war.
His uncle, her brother, Technical Sergeant Alfred Turgeon, was killed in action in August 1943 over Romania.
2,200 airmen were shot down.
His plane was hit directly with anti-aircraft fire at low altitude. 10 men on the plane, several bailed out, only one survived.
We destroyed 188 enemy planes in the air.
They knew not to expect any remains. The Nazis buried American service members' bodies in unmarked graves.
I thought he was gone.
Following the war, a U.S. military effort to recover fallen Americans dug up the remains. And while they were able to identify many of them, more than 80, including Turgeon, remained unknown and were reburied in Belgium.
Decades passed, and then in 2017, the military exhumed the unknown airmen, brought them to a lab, and used dental records and DNA analysis to identify Turgeon. His family finally had an answer.
Oh, this is so wonderful.
Thank you. We're so excited.
On a busy Friday afternoon at SeaTac,
Getting ready to come around the corner here.
they waited for the arrival they never thought they'd see.
I wish Grandma could have been here. She wouldn't have believed it.
An Alaska Airlines flight carried Technical Sergeant Turgeon's remains from Omaha, where there's a military lab. For a few minutes, a bustling airport gate paused to honor a man who enlisted at 20 and died at 23. Turgeon's family says this is a day of celebration, not mourning, because this unexpected journey has brought them closer.
It's an amazing story, you know, about a a young serviceman who's given his life for the country. And people are proud of that.
At SeaTac, Ted Land, King 5 News.
How's that going to work with a 90% video?
Yeah, we'll have to look through and see. I don't know if that's something that maybe, do you have access to these as well, or?
What's that?
Do you have access to these categories, to the videos?
I haven't checked.
Are you asking me or Brad?
Itchy.
Yeah, I do.
So what I'm wondering is if you can check this one, and what was the other one that we were looking at? Does anybody remember?
It was the car through the restaurant, the car that drove through the restaurant.
Yeah.
Which one? Let's see. That was, what was that called?
We didn't get him out, or we couldn't get him out, or something.
There's no way to get him out.
Okay, no way to get him out. Yeah. So I'm wondering if you can maybe look at that, look at the amount of like you know what I mean by archival or file video?
Yeah.
Just like the surveillance. See if you can take the total time of the story and then how much time was used for those file videos or the file video and try and figure out a percentage. I know journalism, math, not so good, but maybe if you can, that would be great.
Pretty, I can just put it's just like one over the, yeah, I got it.
Yeah, that would be good. That'll save us some time if indeed we determine that it has to be 90%, has to be shot by the entrant. So,
okay, cool. So just there's no way to get him out in that last one we just watched.
What do you mean?
Just those two videos you wanted me to check?
Yeah, just those two. Yeah, right. The last two yeah, that video, the last video and the one before. The no way to get him out. Yeah. Cool. And if there's others, we'll let you know.
I like the way you word things, Adrian. It's almost like, you ever see that show, The Weakest Link? This entry gets a you are the weakest link.
Yeah,
Maybe it's just
that next one. For some reason, my notes from above were placed in that bottom cell. So that first sentence of this next story is just already there.
Hey, you're planning ahead.
Yes.
Did I miss?
They really deserve this as the next one. Right there in the middle.
Missed.
There you go.
For all that the town of Waverly has been through these past few weeks, tonight was a much-needed return to normalcy in a place that, for its football team,
Waverly Tigers into tonight's game with a 3-0 record.
Was far from normal.
Tremendous honor of allowing our team the opportunity to play here at Nissan Stadium.
Really, it's just everything is different. Let's go Tigers! I think it's amazing.
After the devastating flooding knocked out Waverly High School's football stadium, the Titans offered up their own home field advantage.
I am amazed. I am so happy for our community and our boys. They've worked so hard these last few weeks helping in our community. They really deserve this.
It's just hard to ride through town and, see all the houses and businesses destroyed and all the families just, torn apart. It's really heartbreaking.
After both the floods and an isolating pandemic, these students would be forgiven if these kinds of typical high school traditions felt a little foreign to them.
I think it's an amazing opportunity, it's once in a lifetime, and I'm just so happy we all get to be here and experience it together.
But in a stadium that was so new to so many from Waverly.
I would lived in Tennessee my whole life and I've never been here.
It sure felt good to be back.
This is way bigger than just helping us a team. This is God showing his grace.
Jason Lamb, News Channel 5.
That's called Deadline News, right?
They really
Oh, they
deserve
really
this.
deserve this.
We skipped deadline.
skipped one.
Deadline. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So if we can go back to that deadline news one.
Well, that was my bad. I'm sorry, I read it wrong.
You jumped the gun.
I did. Sorry.
Give it just a
Deadline
second.
news.
Just right.
Oh, good. We'll get there. By hook or by crook, we'll get there.
Don't listen to me, Jessica. Bob's the boss.
Yes, I've been known to make a mistake here and there. Once, and then I thought I made a mistake, but then I was mistaken.
Quick question. The photos don't count as archival footage, do they?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
They do count.
They didn't. Yeah.
Yeah, as long as they didn't shoot it. I mean, yeah.
They didn't
Like,
create.
if they gathered it, different, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's a
Like-
gray area because if they just show the photo, like as in a, they just toss the photo in, but if they shoot the photo creatively or something, then, I think then we can count it as, we don't have to count it as archival, I guess. Because
But what if they gathered it, like if they went into the house and they got it from somebody and went to the effort to make sure, what I mean? Like some people don't go to that effort.
Yeah, I mean, I think
Well,
it's
that wouldn't be
still-
Yeah, I wouldn't call that archival, right?
Well, it just says 90% of
Under
the
deadlines. It's like security camera footage,
Yeah, I mean, that's the security camera footage wouldn't count towards the 90%. That would be something you didn't shoot. But if you take a photograph and you shoot it creatively, with an interesting setup, I think that took some effort to do it rather than you just taking a digital picture of it and
Scanning everywhere.
on a timeline. Yeah.
I think the spirit of the rule is not using other people's footage to win an award. So,
Exactly.
Oh man, I've won so many awards like that. I'm just kidding.
You cheater.
I don't want to go on the highest rung, man. I just want to cling to the last one, okay?
Are we ready for this one?
So we doing deadline news? Is that what we're doing next?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, they do terrible on their title. Title's important.
I wish that was part of the judging, the title.
Yeah, I guess in a way it can be. I mean, they probably just don't know. I mean, obviously they don't know.
I mean, I tell all my students the title is really important.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to, if you say like, football team loses stadium or something like that, ahead what it's going to be, and then you lose the sort of spontaneity of it, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's not anything we can really judge, but it
No.
does help. It does help having a good title just for us.
Yeah.
It's taking ownership, pride.
That's it. Okay, go ahead and roll this one, deadline.
In a town like Lyman, there are days that everyone remembers.
That is probably as serious as when the tornado hit this town.
Today was one of those days.
I mean, we live in small town USA. I mean, everybody knows everybody. Everybody knows everybody's business too.
Inside Southside Food and Drink,
How we doing, Jason?
there's only one thing Charlie Kendrick can talk about on a day like this.
Nobody could believe it. It was like we couldn't believe that one of our officers got shot. It just doesn't happen in Lyman, Colorado.
Lincoln County Deputy Michael Hutton, ambushed by a man with a gun early this morning and shot multiple times.
And I'm really happy that Mike's going to make it because there's a lot of prayers a lot of prayers for him out there.
Prayers for a sheriff's deputy, an Air Force veteran.
Yes.
And a man, Charlie.
People calling and saying, have you heard what's going on?
Calls neighbor.
And, especially when they knew that Mike lived across the street from me.
Anybody that is from this area is like, you can breathe, you know.
A sigh of relief that Deputy Hutton will be all right.
Thank God.
Janice DeDroot owns the restaurant where deputies like Hutton come in often.
If you're gonna take 5 bullets, you're definitely a hero. And still give a thumbs up. Thank you. You can't ask for it anymore. You've got to say thank you.
It's been 10 years since the last time Lincoln County dealt with an officer shot in the line of duty.
I mean, those kind of things just devastate this city. I mean, because we just don't have that stuff happen to us. And
every time, it brings back painful reminders of the danger that comes with the job.
And that was devastating to the community, very devastating. And, you know, you just don't expect it. You don't.
It was a sad day, and it'll never, ever leave my mind. And neither will today.
One of those days that everyone will remember.
And I'll be really thankful when I can walk over to Mike and shake his hand and say thank you.
In Lyman, I'm Mark Salinger, 9 News.
Prayers for Hugo will be next. We have 4 more left in this category.
Oh, I just typed in the wrong one, didn't I? Wait a minute. I typed in the wrong space. Somebody else did too. Prayers for Hugo's next. So this was Deadline News. That's what I did.
It is Deadline News, right?
Yeah, I typed in the wrong spot. It was me. You're on it, Brad. Wait, now I can't find my column. Hang on, I'm a mess. Sorry.
Don't worry, you're like my background right now. A mess.
You know what? I'll just delete it and I'll put it in later because the one next to me is not wrapped, so I can't find my column.
Yeah, mine. Do you want me to? I don't know.
Can you hit enter? Oh, here's my column. I'll just type.
Yeah, Bob, I don't know if you can wrap my
hang on.
38. Sorry.
I know, so.
Let's see what happened here.
You're the rapper today.
I'm the rapper.
Yep, you're a rap artist. Rap
Right.
artist.
We're there. If you wrap while we watch, I'm ready. I'm sorry to hold you up.
I don't know what happened here. Oh.
Whether it is sung or said, a prayer is a conversation.
We have faith.
And on Wednesday, just before sunset,
It just really moves you.
this father hopes to reach a hospital room at Methodist in Richardson.
I don't want it, nobody. I cry and every night.
I don't want this for anybody, he says. I cry every night. Even through double masks, a guard, and broken English, this father's pain is clear. As clear as the light that shines from Hugo Miranda's hospital room.
I mean, we would like to be up there with him.
That light is everything.
A light of hope for us, for the family.
Hugo Miranda is in the fight of his life, fighting COVID for nearly a month.
He's a really big part of our family.
A husband, a father of 2 children, a restaurant owner, and today, the source for prayer.
We love you, Hugo.
This is the 3rd time this group has gathered outside Methodist Hospital.
All your family is waiting for you.
COVID rules keep them from going inside. Hugo's wife, Beatrice, is in the room, sharing in that prayer.
We also pray for everyone else that is in this hospital.
It is for everyone here within earshot and eyesight, because they feel it works.
A feeling that he was going to be okay.
And Hugo is making progress because of what's happening on the inside and the outside.
You can do it, Hugo. We love you.
In Richardson, I'm Jobin Paniker.
Well, that's not a comment.
That was an awesome closing shot. So lucky.
Yep. The harder you work, the luckier you get.
Yeah. The worst thing is when good luck falls in unprepared hands, you know?
Yep.
Okay, that was okay. Home for Hero is next.
Is everyone else ready?
Aaron's ready. Thumbs up.
We're keeping a very, very close eye on the weather. We've got a little cell that's moving in. We're in Arden Preserve in Land O'Lakes. It's a Pulte neighborhood. Today we've delivered a beautiful home for Sergeant Javier Torres and his wife Stephanie and their 3 daughters.
You guys deserve this mortgage-free home. Really proud to say that you're finally home. Congratulations.
Clean house, amazing. Afghanistan, September 2005, my vehicle was ambushed. Getting out the vehicle, I get shot one time. Get back in the vehicle, get shot again. Another shot comes through. Everything happened the way it was supposed to be. There's no sympathy I have for myself. I don't feel any regret. This is just like a dream come true, beyond the dream come true.
Oh, wow. Look at your food. We come from a 2-bedroom apartment with a 1 bathroom. Obviously, we're all girls. To see this, wow, it's incredible.
See? Dream big, be magical, okay?
I think everybody was in tears today. It's incredibly heartwarming. It's just to see the look on Javier and Stephanie's face, Kaylee and Aria and Avery. It's just life-changing for them, and what's cool is it's life-changing for everybody that's a part of it as well.
That's your room. That's so cute.
Wherever we went, we just want to be able to play with our children. Hide and seek was a big thing they wanted to do, and I'm like, you run out of places to do it, you know? But here, oh man, we're gonna have some fun.
Oh, you are welcome.
My wife, my children, I love you all more and more each day.
You are the true purpose of me being here today? Girls, we're home, and home is where we go.
It Felt Like Home is the next one. 2 more left.
One moment, if you don't mind. I'm sorry.
Go for it.
It's tough again. It's gonna be a lot.
All right. Next one. We ready? Felt Like Home.
Yep.
Rolling.
How are your stitches? How are you feeling?
These are labored steps for Jennifer Jagielski.
I know I'm gonna cry. I know I'm gonna cry.
But one's worth taking because the front steps of her home across town look like this. 5 days ago, her husband Philip and their 3 children were inside when the home next door exploded.
I could see sky and our ceiling, like the inside of the ceiling. And I was just like, what just happened?
The explosion felt even a mile away, and the city says was likely gas-related and likely intentional.
Just poof. Our room was destroyed.
All 5 were rushed to the hospital. The kids are okay. Jennifer and Philip had cuts from glass and debris, but nothing would cut deeper than losing family or losing what Jennifer and her brother Jeff came to see.
It's Grandma's piano. Wow.
I need that piano. Reese needs that piano, and I would do anything in the world.
And 2 days ago, complete strangers rescued it from what's left of the living room, shrouded in rubble, but perfectly intact. This was their grandmother's. Music was healing for her. It will again.
Our grandma was a very special woman.
Help heal a family traumatized.
We are both going to need music more than ever.
Losing most everything gives bigger meaning to the things worth saving.
I felt like home.
The Jagielskis are thankful for people they know and don't know.
I wish I could thank every single person of helping my family recover.
Philip is still in the hospital. Today ends on a good note. There will be many more labored steps, but healing can now start. In Plano, I'm Jobin Paniker.
Sharon's ready.
Okay, the last one. Last one is, what is it? Not My House? Not My House.
So we gotta go in this way, right to the kitchen door.
It only takes a few steps inside,
So this is one of our worst rooms.
and it's painfully obvious
All the mirrors are all down.
just how awful a day it was.
You know, you don't realize how bad, and then you look at this and you're just thinking, oh my goodness, it's just barely hanging on.
These are the charred remains of the Webster family's home.
You feel like you're in a haunted house and you're like, this is not my house.
The fire practically took everything,
We had a grease fire. You can see the pot still on the stove.
and yet it could have claimed even more.
I knew they were out there because they had been banging on my window trying to get me to awake.
Dad had been sleeping downstairs and woke up with a start.
So that's where Roland came up, actually.
The whole entire back wall was ablaze and flames coming out across the top of the ceiling. And when I saw that, it was very frightening.
There was no time.
I just ducked and ran right out the front door and looking for my kids and went and just grabbed them, hugged them.
Roland knows even with so much that went up in smoke,
Goes fast, burns fast.
it could have ended even worse.
We lost the cat. That was hard. But all of us are still together.
The family had been used to helping others,
I was actually in Peru. I worked for a humanitarian organization.
and now they're getting a hand in return.
It's been a little bit hard being on the other side, but I'm very grateful for people around here being willing to do humanitarian to me.
The help left one of the worst days looking a little brighter.
You're alive, and I'm alive, and you got me out.
And that's not that bad, after all.
Today, it was just good enough.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Well,
Okay, so that's the end of that category. Feel free to look at your scores and see maybe what rises to the top for a beginning point. And if you want to write down, at the bottom near your top, 5 or 6 stories or whatever, feel free.
Write down where?
Well, underneath you can just write down the names of the stories like we did last night somewhere.
I think that's gonna make us faster, huh?
Well, maybe.
And both of those videos had over 10% of archival footage.
They did?
Yeah.
Wow.
which ones were they?
Was the soldier remains returned, and there's no way to get him out.
You're absolutely sure, like how much over?
One was 14.81%, and the other one was about 13%.
But we're clear on, what use of video is. We're clear on stills and how that's okay and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, and I was kind of erring on like the shorter side. I did like just the video, not the pictures first, and that was even over 10%.
Good work.
Yes.
Good work. Ichi comes through on that one.
Not for the photogs.
No. Not for the photogs. They're good stories too.
Yeah. I mean, this is amazing for 4-hour turn.
Yeah, it really is. Next year we'll make it a 2-hour turn and see what they can do.
We'll all be like, oh, they should have done this and they should have done that. And Photog's like, are you kidding me?
I had to pee so bad. I had to pee so bad the whole time.
Right. Some stupid judges, they don't know what they're talking about.
Oh, we should have our own photog Olympics. You know, every year it seems to get more impressive, right? With what they do. We're adding the half.
You know, the one thing I haven't seen anybody ever do is when there's a house fire or a trailer fire, the picture frames get burned up. But I had a story once where I went there and the guy, I said, I wonder if that picture is still good behind it. And this kid took a rock and broke the glass, and it was perfect behind that glass.
Wow.
And I took that to Brett Thomas and said, you have to write the story. It was Daybreak when he was working anchoring Daybreak. It was like, you have to get up and write the story because I can't let this go. This is such a beautiful moment.
Oh man, that's great. Love it. All right. I'll be right back.
It's Like Dust. What was It's Like Dust about? Oh, I don't remember it.
Oh, that was the big house fire with that lady.
Can't.
I know that doesn't help.
I know.
That
No,
house
it
fire with
does.
that.
Yep. Thank you for putting that up. The cute little lady. Got it. With the art collection. Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, I think.
Well, every single one of them is a strong 4-hour story, that's for sure.
Yeah. No.
Mhm.
So did we say there was no way out? Which ones were put out because of archival photo? Obviously the soldier one, and what was the other?
There was no way to get him out. It was the explosion at the restaurant.
Oh man, okay, that's what I was wondering.
Excuse me.
I lost my cameras. I can't see anybody. There. Will you put up the thumbnail for It's Overwhelming? Got it. Got it. Thank you.
Oh, I got this wrong. On every corner. Second. So all things first. That's right. This is gonna be a hard resolution, I think. Maybe not. We'll see.
Well, if only one person was judging, it would be easy because we'd just say, this is it. I know
So
what my
true.
husband is, right?
I think this is a democracy.
I know.
Take a vote. It's not a
You know,
shit.
Good.
this whole thing is wonderful because it satisfies my haggling nature. So I don't have to, the next salesman I meet is going to be so happy because I'll be totally exhausted.
You don't seem like a haggler at all. You're so quiet.
Oh, when I go into a sales environment, it's like a game. So it's fun. I'm nice about it. I'm not a bad guy. It's just
strong.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm strong. I even talked to a car salesman. I was like, "You're lucky. You get to haggle. You haven't haggled in months. Car prices have been so high."
Cars haven't haggled in years.
Yeah, I know, right? He smiled and laughed at that. He's like, "Yeah, it's true. It's true. You're making me work for my money."
Well, we picked winners.
Well, the three that are up all have prayers for Hugo in them. That's a start. I can wait.
From what I see, I can't see your selections, Brad.
I don't see yours. Oh, no, I don't see Brad's. You're right. I don't see Brad.
Oh, I see. So we're putting them in there. Okay.
So it looks like Bilal and I.
So everybody pick prayers for Hugo. Good. I'm just going to go out there. That's hands-on, in my opinion, the best one.
Is that the hospital one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I had a little. I guess I had it a little lower. I mean, all of these stories are excellent.
Yes.
Then some others is, it just. I like the closing shot. I like the open. I mean,
You all agreed that was
great
you all agreed on that one as one of your favorites, right?
Yeah. How about we just get the ones down that we agree on, and then like we did last night, take the final vote.
Okay.
Yeah. So you got prayers for Hugo. Anybody else? Let's see. 3 of you had It's Overwhelming.
Yep.
Which one was that? That's my first. Hang on a second.
Did you?
Overwhelming had the nice ending shot of the people hugging. It was them. They were in the guy's yard consolidating all their stuff.
Yeah, that was really good. I really like that one.
Was that on your list, Adrian, or no?
No.
I liked.
I had good notes about it, but it just wasn't my favorite. But I'm fine with it because I did have good notes. I gave it a 3. It did not get a 4 or 5 on my list.
Yeah, these are tough because it's like we don't know what's next, and then
you're right.
By the time the last person's there, it's like we've sort of seen everything, but then the judging may change in my mind, but I can't remember what the other ones were about, and it's just judging stuff. You can miss things real easy.
I liked It Felt Like Home a lot, mainly because of the deadline and the actual emotion they captured through the whole thing, and the lighting. They left the lighting alone a little bit. They used some of the natural lighting in that room, and they use it in their favor.
Is that the piano one?
Yeah, I thought that was really powerful. And then showing the scars on her back as she was playing, it's just the healing versus the wounds. It was pretty cool, I thought. And I know that some of the drone footage in the middle, or like the third way through, kind of took a little bit of time from the story, but I think when you see a house explosion, I mean, that's a great way to show it.
I don't know.
I selected that one also.
I had some concerns about the timing on that because they had the 2 days ago, they moved the piano. So I don't know when the explosion video, I guess we assume the explosion video and the drone video was the same day.
Oh, you think that that video is older than that day?
Well, I don't know what was in, well, at one point, they said 2 days ago, they rescued the piano from the house that had exploded.
Oh yeah,
So I know
yeah.
that
So you
video
think that,
was definitely older. So I don't know if the drone video and the other video was shot at that point, or if it was shot the day that they shot the piano. You know, some of these stories, and I realize that I'm overthinking this, and you guys can all yell at me, and it's okay. But I wish I knew what they shot them with, because I thought the stuff inside with the piano was underexposed. I thought it looked a little bit soft and a little bit underexposed for the environment. And I realize we're not judging storytelling, but I didn't understand where it was. It was in some random house. The open of that was, "Are you okay with your stitches?" Oh, I get it. Never mind. I understand that. I thought it was okay. But both times when I saw it, it was just like, it seemed underexposed and kind of choppy to me, kind of handheldy movie choppy to me. But if you guys all like it, we can throw it in.
I love it for a number of reasons. And I think, Bilal, you pretty much summed up a lot of the images that I was looking at and that I thought stood out, especially if they're doing this all in 4 hours.
So yeah, I thought the same thing in the 4 hours. But what's this about the piano? Because that would seem like it's like, well, maybe it technically qualifies, but it's not really in the spirit of.
There was a line in there that they said 2 days ago this piano was rescued from the house that exploded,
Yeah,
and they had a sequence of the piano coming out of the house with the woman
That's
standing
great.
at the front door.
That doesn't
Oh,
mean they were
no.
there when the piano was rescued. They could be moving the piano to a different place on that day. They may have seen the
No,
story in the newspaper and said, "Oh, let's go do that."
I don't know. When you show video that says 2 days ago the piano was rescued and the piano is moving, to me it's implying
Yeah.
it was taken out 2 days ago. We never saw the piano move into its new location, but we did see it 2 days
Oh.
ago come out of the old house. The piano was
I
there
thought-
when they walked in, wasn't it?
I thought there was some moving shots of them moving in. Well, maybe they were walking in. Maybe that's why I thought they were bringing the piano in, because there were some shots of their feet as they were walking towards the house, and I thought they were moving.
Right, that's how it opens, is with them walking up the steps. And that's
Yeah.
when he says, "Are your stitches okay?" Because they had all the stitches from all the glass.
Yeah.
And that threw me off at first, but now I get it.
So they bookended it.
Yeah, if you guys like it, I'll put it in. I just didn't think
I can see your concerns. Yeah.
it was a strong.
It was just in the 4 hour thing. Yeah, I thought there was some missed opportunities with the piano. It seemed like, wow, that's a great way to tell the story. So it's sort of in 4 hours and everything, tight shots and all of that. I didn't care for the lighting. It was inconsistent with the story. On the interview, it looked like it was, lit instead of natural light. I don't know what you guys think. It just seemed like somebody set up a light inside, and there was a lot of natural light that they used when they got the emotion. I wish the interview had been shot consistently. Just use a window or something. So, and the to be a winner, the closing shot was weak. With the drone, I just felt like we were a balloon and floated away from the story. So I didn't have it on my list, but I did comment on it more than anything else. So it did catch my attention.
If that's not viable, I thought deadline on every corner. I liked how many shots that guy got for 4 hours, and how amazingly pieced together it was for such a short time.
Which one?
The deadline on every corner. I think it was like one of the first. Wasn't it one of the first ones we watched?
Yeah.
Oh, with the different streets.
Yeah, that was
yeah.
Good. It was good.
That was
good
a
writing
lot.
and everything. That really doesn't have anything to do with the photog. But yeah, they had a lot of good shots.
So I don't know. I thought that for a deadline, to be able to gather all that stuff and get all those shots, and I think I can't remember if this one had good interviews or not. I can't remember.
I felt like it was.
Excellent variety.
I felt like that was an easy shotgun to shoot. You go somewhere, you shoot, you put your tripod in, you shoot sequences every direction you could, and then you go somewhere else. I didn't feel like it had a lot of chronology or a lot of perspective. The shots were very, very good, but where was I? And he's talking about streets, but we're not seeing like the street sign with the street, and then we go over here. I don't know. I thought a lot of the shots were really good, but it was also, it was damage. It was an easy shoot.
Yeah.
It was,
I mean,
it was
sure,
hard to get a
it
bad
was-
shot like that.
No, I get what you're saying with that for sure. I just thought that when he was saying that, is like, this is 4th Street and there's nothing there. You know what I mean? That kind of,
Yeah.
that's where he was going with that weight, I think. I just thought for like a 4-hour turnaround, going through all that mess, then going to have to find a place to edit in the area that's just rubble and put it all together and make sense of it. I mean, sure, it's we've all done that, but I don't know. Those were strong for me, but I'm willing to be flexible on that. It's true that all that rubble is there, and it's like a buffet.
Right.
So,
Well, you
like,
could throw those shots up and drop them into the story in any order, and it would tell the same story.
yeah, maybe.
It didn't
Did
have
anybody have It's Overwhelming?
I can't remember right now. It's what?
I did. It's overwhelming.
Yes, yep.
Anybody have that in their list?
Yeah.
I did.
I did too. Remind me, what was that one? I have good weaving, lots of sound, strong 4-hour story, good character, organized.
That was the house
environment.
that they were all cleaning out in the neighborhood, and they hug at the end, and
Yeah.
I
Good
have that as a 5. So if you guys like that more, I can easily shuffle it up.
Yeah, I like that one a lot. The photog was moving and grooving all the time. Good shot
Yep.
composition, use of thirds and nines, and hugs and
So-
emotion.
I can put that up higher. I have no problem with it because I got put down a 5 for that too. So
you know, it's really sad that the one about the little boy coming home after the Amber Alert got screwed up at the end.
Which one's that?
With
The little boy, the car parade.
Right.
yeah, I know, man.
What was it called?
Dan
Darren,
Blommel.
what was it?
Dan Blommel.
Oh,
It was the nighttime shot of the car parade with all Noah, the little boy, was coming home after he'd been abducted, apparently with an Amber Alert or something. And see, it's up now. And it was really good.
Yeah.
But at the end, the
Oh.
photog got a snap zoom and blew it.
I really like that story. I thought it was very strong. It was definitely, excellent 4-hour general news, captured a lot of motion, good ending sound, beginning, middle, and end.
I liked all of it, but that snap zoom and the way he ended it, they panicked at the end, which was too bad.
Yeah, he could have covered that too. He could have covered that, and it would have worked.
What was
And there was
there was
one weird jump cut in the middle where the lady in the red dress, the little boy hugs her. He runs off and then she's hugging and screaming again. It was kind of weird, but
What was it?
that was it was a pretty good. What about
What was the snap zoom, guys? What was the snap zoom we're talking about?
Very end.
It
So
was
he
at the
goes
end.
from the kid to the people cheering. He goes from right there, the kid, and he whips over to the right. And
I
then
don't mind.
ends-
Will you guys play the end of this?
It's the second to
It's
last
pretty
shot.
sloppy.
To be home again.
Thank you guys so much.
Jason Lamb,
It's a happy, happy day.
That is
News
all.
Channel 5.
Yeah, that was
That's too bad.
All right, it's going down on my
Probably had to
list.
turn the story. Probably had to turn the story in.
Yeah,
What
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That was his last shot. That was his last shot before he had to throw it on television.
Any thoughts about the
That's
wind?
true.
Any thoughts about the first one, the wind story? I mean, those are really hard conditions to shoot in. That's with it, all the snow and the streets are all closed off. And I mean, there's a couple of
The
sequences.
Boyd
of the tow
Hubert
truck.
one. The Boyd Hubert one.
Was it
That was
Boyd? I
Boyd.
honestly,
It was a Boyd piece, yeah.
I was just thinking that, boy, what a pain in the ass to shoot in that.
Yeah, that was hard, but I think that you still could have shown some more of the wind by shooting the trees or something, more. And that's the only thing is like, I know it's a hard time to shoot in that, but when I'm in those environments, like I think, okay, what's a type that I can find anywhere that can
Right.
show the wind.
There was one, like early on, there was a foreground shot with the trees in the front, and I was thinking, good for him. But you're right, there
Yeah.
needed to be more of it.
Hey, Bob, could somebody, we all have prayers for Hugo. Can somebody just make a list of what we all have?
That's the only one that you all have.
Oh.
3 of you have It's Overwhelming. 2 of you
And
have
prayers for Hugo.
It Felt Like Home. 2 of you had that one.
Which is the one with the kids and their dad and they got a house?
It Felt Like Home.
Oh, okay. I really like that one. Why is it not on my list? Hang on.
Oh no, It Felt Like Home was the piano, right?
Yeah.
That's the piano one.
Home for a Hero?
Home for a Hero.
Home for Heroes is
I really
the
like that
soldier
one.
story.
I like that one a lot. A lot of good family emotion and stuff. It's obviously a story that was developing as they were shooting it, and they had to get it on by noon or whatever. So I like that one.
I didn't like how it was shot. I just didn't think they shot it very well.
Let's see.
We have 3 It's Overwhelming, and then 3, 4, and 4 Prayers for Hugo. So those 2 are in the vying.
Okay.
Did anyone like the 911 piece?
Yeah, I
With the
did.
teachers?
It was
That
at
was one of
first
my
I didn't.
top ones.
At first I was like, okay, whatever. The teacher's sort of boring. But as I watched it, I thought, you know what? Like thousands of us were shooting a story that day, and mine didn't look anything like that. So that was a lot of I could find a good character on a day that everybody shot a story. Actually, all I did was live shots that day, but
Well, this is 20
I
years
thought
later.
that was really good. General News, 4 hours. I don't even know if it made my list, but I liked it. If somebody's pushing for it,
I would
It
agree.
was good.
I
I just didn't think.
it was. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. I'm sorry.
Nope.
what was that one called? Why is it not called 911?
It is
Teaching
called
911. It is called
okay.
Teaching 911, isn't it?
Well, I don't know why I didn't have it on my list. I did like it.
I thought it was a solid story. I just think that it's an expected story, kind of. You know what I mean? I've seen this classroom piece before. You know what I mean? And they did it well. I just think that I don't know. Maybe I just need that little extra.
We can move on. Let's
Yeah.
we can move on. It's fine.
So did anybody else like It's
Adrian-
Overwhelming? Did we have some votes on that? So let's place that. and then-
Adrian, your
What is
thoughts?
it?
You were on the fence on that one, maybe, or not so much on that one. What are your? Maybe you want to reiterate what you were saying
What
about
is
it.
It's Overwhelming? The little lady.
What's the? I'm just curious. What else did we all agree on beyond prayers for Hugo?
That's
Overwhelming,
It. That's the only one.
except for
Only one
you.
all four of you agreed on. It's
Okay, if
Overwhelming.
everyone else likes It's Overwhelming, I'll go for it. It's fine.
All
I'm
right.
cool.
Let's put that one down.
So then we had Hugo. And what's this Home for a Hero? Is that the piano?
No, that's
Home for a Hero is the new house built for the hero.
Felt Like
soldier.
Home.
That's with the kids and the dad.
I thought that piece was all over the
Yeah.
place. I don't think it had any continuity. And I thought, go ahead.
No, sorry. I'm sorry. I'm trying to mute. I'm trying to get something here.
I
I
think it's
guess
a great
I'm a-
story. I don't think it was executed very well.
Okay, so what do you
That's
say?
a
Prayers
lot.
for Hugo.
That was a lot, though, going from, getting your gear out, and then the people arrive, and you got to go from outside to inside. You don't want to interrupt too much, but you got to put the wireless on these kids. You got to get that emotion ahead of time. It was real. It wasn't contrived.
And
it
then
was
the
done in
ending, they
4
go to
hours.
an empty house, a wide shot of the house at the end with nobody in it, no ending, nothing that left me anywhere.
I didn't care for the closing shot with the red carpet. Needed a little more emotion, but I really liked it. I guess I'm a sucker for a good story. And
It was a good story, but
I
it
mean,
wasn't
was a
shot
good
like a
story.
good story. It wasn't shot like
liked
a
it.
good story.
I personally did that story my first year at CARE, and it didn't look anywhere as good as this person who entered the story. But my favorite before that one would be the piano piece. the wound, the where he shows her scars and the wounds. I'm drawing a blank on the name right now.
It
felt
felt
like
like
home. Do we
Yeah,
all
I
agree
really
on it
liked
felt like
it. Was
home?
it was emotionally powerful. Not only you and I agree with the it felt like home piece.
Oh, no one else does? Okay.
So let's trade him something for that.
Did anybody, nobody liked, I think except for me, the piece in the diner
That was really good. Yeah, what was that called?
with the truck driver. I mean, it was slow, but it was a small town slow.
Very
And it had
consistent.
a beginning and an end. It was, what was that? That was a Deadline one. Deadline, it was the cop who got shot that we saw the piece about him a couple days ago, right? But this was in the diner, like the shot of
What's
the
it
woman's
called?
hands.
So I can look at my
Um,
notes.
It's called Deadline.
Oh yeah, okay, I have that. Yeah, I gave it a 4. Okay, I don't know why it's not on my list. Yeah, I said good intro build at the beginning, well shot characters. I'm sort of over the phone picture thing. It's just so gimmicky, but
Yeah.
it's a trend.
It wasn't needed there actually either.
Really good use of hospital picture, smooth edit and sound. Best editing goes unnoticed, I wrote. Strong closing shots. So yeah, I mean, I like that one.
I liked some of the pacing, but I thought
Did
it loped
anybody else
along
have
a
it?
little bit.
Did anybody else have that?
I liked it a lot because I
Did
thought
anybody
it
else
looked-
have it besides Sharon? Did anybody else have it?
I did not. I gave it a 3.
Yeah, I didn't have it either.
Okay,
Neither did I.
okay, it's out.
Okay, so what do you want for first place, guys? We have
Yeah.
something we agree on. We have
I
two
have
that we
it.
agree on.
I'm going with It's Overwhelming.
I'm going with
Okay.
Prayers for Hugo.
So how about you, Sharon?
Well, I'm with Prayers for Hugo, and again, It's Overwhelming is the little lady standing there at the end. That closing shot on Hugo, I loved. I loved the silhouette. They did a good job of using silhouettes against the sky, but then they used the light really well with the faces that they shot. So I'm going with Prayers for Hugo from a shooting standpoint as first.
What I had on that one, it made my list, but I just felt like the shots were flat. This is one of those things where photogs get this thing where they got to shoot everything on a tripod, and those are good disciplines to have. But on this story, in this case, it needed a little bit of movement. It needed something.
Was Prayers for Hugo all on a tripod?
I don't know, but that was my.
I didn't remember that. I felt like
that
he
was my impression. That was my impression at the time. That was my impression at the time when I was watching it.
The shots of the window and the building were on a tripod, and
I'm not saying it. Yeah, Sharon, I'm not saying it wasn't on a tripod. What I was saying was the shots were flat.
What does that mean? I don't understand. I'm sorry.
They needed some movement or something.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
It just seemed like
it did have one perspective shot, which you don't see often, which the foreground was all the people and the background was the building. I like those relationship shots, but I can go either way. You can do it first or second. I'm not gonna, whatever you guys.
I don't mind either. If you guys want to do Prayers for Hugo first, I can go, but I liked It's for Overwhelming, obviously, so I'm flexible on those two for first and second. If you guys want Prayers for Hugo,
I'll do Prayers for Hugo only because It's Overwhelming didn't even get my vote, so.
Come on.
Prayers for Hugo's number one.
No, I didn't have that. I had It's Overwhelming number one. If you put them head to head for me for photography, It's Overwhelming beats Prayers for Hugo. Again, I felt like it was flat. I felt like tripod is a good discipline to have, but sometimes the tripod is overused, or sometimes the zoom button is not used the way
I can go either way.
Would you like to look at them again quick?
Yes,
sure.
Please.
Okay. Prayers for Hugo and It's Overwhelming. If you can get that going.
Whether it is sung or said, a prayer is a conversation.
We have faith.
And on Wednesday, just before sunset,
It just really moves me.
this father hopes to reach a hospital room at Methodist in Richardson.
I don't want it, nobody. I try and every night.
I don't want this for anybody, he says. I cry every night, Even through double masks, a guard, and broken English, this father's pain is
I
clear.
like that
As
line.
clear as the light that shines from Hugo Miranda's hospital room.
Oh, did you see? I didn't see that the last time.
That light
was
is
cool.
everything.
Light of hope for us, for the family.
Hugo Miranda is in the fight of his life, fighting COVID for nearly a month.
And he's a really big part of our family.
Weird at it.
A husband, a father of 2 children, a restaurant owner, and today, the source for prayer.
We love you, Hugo.
This is the 3rd time this group has gathered outside Methodist Hospital.
All your family is waiting for you.
COVID rules keep them from going inside. Hugo's wife, Beatrice, is in the room, sharing in that prayer.
We also pray for everyone else that is in this hospital.
It is for everyone here.
Do they have a shot of them in the room or a shot of people
because
outside?
they feel it works.
They can't go in the room.
That
window
No, the
had a
phone.
light.
Making
The
progress.
phone
Because of
in
what's
the room.
happening on the inside
They were live
and
streaming
the
it.
outside.
Why didn't they have a phone in the room?
Nowhere to go. We love you.
A phone?
As in an image from the
They
the
did.
hospital.
I didn't catch it the first time. They had a light in the window in there. There was a shot of a light in the window.
Yes. Well, where
That
was
was
the
in
phone?
the room.
Okay, maybe I'm misunderstanding. Did we see a shot with a phone or a camera or anything from inside the room showing the person?
They're
It's
not
that
allowed to
live
go in the
stream.
hospital, I don't think.
Well,
No.
there was a live stream on that phone when it was on a tripod.
We've
that's
gotten
what
that shot. We've gotten that shot a whole bunch of times. We get nurses to do it, or family, or somebody to do it. So, or outside, the window. So, when the line happened about that, it was confusing because it showed a phone with people outside. There's no reason
There,
for it.
it's right there. That's just a live
We
stream.
also pray for everyone.
Yeah.
We also
Show that they're
So
live
there's no relationship between the person inside is seeing it or we're seeing the person inside. I just felt like it was
there is.
awkward.
The fight.
Okay, let's
I'm
see the
just
other
not
one
into
real
those-
quick, and then
not into those phone shots, I guess. I mean, with purpose, yes, but not like gimmicky. And it's a winner, so I don't want to, take away from it. It's a great story, but when we're really trying to nail this thing down, I didn't see this person inside. I thought it was, good that they had graphics of them outside, and they put that in 4 hours. So it was okay. There was a couple of weird edits where it went from one shot of them to another tight shot of them instead of a dissolve, or not using it. With the use of that phone, it made it seem like, why don't they have a shot inside that room? And I know they're not allowed in. We're not allowed in, but we've gotten those shots by working it out with somebody, a family member or something, to go get that shot.
well, he's unconscious. I think that's probably why.
I don't know why,
Like
but I
Yeah,
didn't see him, and it was confusing.
Oh yeah, actually, he's been there a month, so he might not be unconscious. You're right. So why don't we watch this next one, and then it'll seal the deal, probably.
I will just say I like the fact that I got to know him without ever seeing him in his worst condition in his life. I thought it was fine, but let's watch the other one. I'll go either way.
It's a winner for sure.
It was a caravan. It was a parade to come help and make a statement.
This has been a tough couple of days.
I just had this crazy idea that let's do this.
That's my house right next door. All that stuff, plus next door. And we're not finished.
But there was no central distribution point. I just became the central distribution point.
Pretty much it destroyed our home.
This is Andrew. He's got the house in the corner. Bring as much of the bleach as possible. We wanted to make an impact to a couple streets today.
It was up to our chest. Oh my God.
Bring it here.
That's how fast it came in?
It's about a foot high into our dining room and kitchen.
Our entire shed got swept away with everything in it.
Custom built shed he built like 25, 40 feet.
The loss is I've never experienced something this great before. And I've been here on this block for 30 years.
Food, dry goods, non-perishables. We had clothing sorted.
Gives us hope that, with the help of our community and our neighbors and our family and our friends that, we're gonna, pull through this.
Oh, we need that. Supplies?
Yeah. You need sprayer?
If you could put that right there, that would be...
So we have sprayers, we have bleach.
What we need is just to get our house, back in order to take the next step. And he said we're gonna be here.
Dropped off half and half to two of the most impacted streets in town.
It's overwhelming. So heartfelt that the community is coming. I again, born and raised here, I know what everybody's made out of.
Run up the street, both sides, see if anyone needs shot backs. We also brought a couple new fans that we picked up this morning.
When you see the amount of damage done, you realize there's no way you can do this by yourself.
Never expected it, but it's wonderful.
Take these, as people need.
Thank you. It truly means a lot.
So I like this because it's so much work to get all these different angles and shots. So photography wise, this is so much more work than the other one.
Yeah.
But the other one has an artistic end of it that is not present in this one in a way that like it's beauty shot, you know, some beauty shots here, some beauty shots there. And this is all amazing framing and good shots and stuff. I think this is harder to do under deadline than the other one, for sure.
Yeah, got it off the sticks and got some lower angles and stuff like that. I don't know. I would agree. What's this one called? Sorry, what's this one called? Did I have
overwhelming? It's overwhelming, but I think artistically wise and how the story rolls, like this is kind of run of the mill with this storytelling, in that you're using all the bytes and this is an event that catastrophe. But the other one, you're kind of trying to connect people to this person's life in a different when he's in a hole that nobody can access him to. You know what I mean? Like it's just so I did get to know Hugo, you know, and he was in a room that I never saw, you know. So I don't know. It's a hard thing to balance, but I might actually lean towards. I don't know. It's so hard because the photography in me knows how much this work is to find all these bytes and do all this magic. So.
So that's what we're doing. We're judging between Overwhelming and Hugo.
For first and second.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's third then? Let's just move on to that.
Well, okay.
I think we're at a stalemate on It's Overwhelming and Hugo, right?
Yeah, I can shift over.
Was It's Overwhelming?
We have It's Overwhelming and Hugo. I believe that's why we watched those two pieces to compare them, and we're split. So what's number 3?
I guess my question was, after seeing the two pieces, do you vote 1 or 2? We know Bilal is 1. We know, well, like Sharon, did your mind change?
No, I still like Hugo.
And I still like Overwhelming, so.
I like Overwhelming. Overwhelming 1, Hugo 2. Let's figure out a third.
Yeah, I agree. Unless it beats Hugo. I had Home for a Hero. Is that the daddy story? I just with the kids in the house.
I don't care for the shooting on that at all.
All right, that one's out then. But I like it, Photog. That was great. Deadline News, what's that?
We have a couple of them. We have the one about On Every Corner, and we have the one about the diner, but I think we threw the diner out because I deleted it.
Oh, really?
So it felt like home. So the only thing that's common with us now is 2 people have It Felt Like Home, and
that's the piano, right?
Yep.
Can we
so
do
only 2 of us have that.
Can we do 911 teaching honorable mention, just because everybody in the world did that story and I haven't seen much on it, and I liked it, and then we just got to figure out what number 3 is. So what are our contenders for number 3?
Seems like
right now,
I'm not going to settle on that honorable mention until we figure out what else gets number 3. I think the opening shot of that, all I think of is that when I first saw that story, there was a woman there pregnant in a white dress. And I'm like, okay, what's this going to be about? And there was no relevance. And that really bothered me a lot. So I'm not going to settle on that. I'm not going to settle on that as an honorable mention. Just write it off like that yet.
I'm the only one that mentioned it as being that. I just threw it in there.
And
the story grew on me as I watched it. I agree. At
Absolutely. The rest of it I liked. How did it end? I don't remember how it ended either. The kids were great. The sound was great.
What do you think, Adrian?
How come we're not seeing any stories on 911? That's what I want to know, because everybody was under the gun that day, all day.
20 years later.
No, the anniversary, right.
Right.
What do you think, Adrian?
I like the piece about the piano. It feels like home for number 3.
The piano?
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I think we talked about that one quite a bit. I guess it should go in there as number 3. I agree. It was good.
Okay, 3 of us agree with that.
That's fine.
All
Okay,
right.
4.
We're
4.
never
Who's
going to
4?
get done.
4. 4. Who's 4?
Who has an even number of judges? We need
I
it.
know, that's so true. I didn't even think of that.
Hey, Bob, wake up.
You're on mute, Bob.
Bob split. We're just
Sorry,
sitting
I got
around
a
going in
phone
circles.
call.
We're never going to get done today.
Yeah. Where you at? I had a phone call I had to take. Just a second.
Let's. I mean, nobody else wants 911 like I do, so that's fine. We have 1, 2, and 3. Good, we're done.
You
Let's
do?
move on.
Wait, you have one. What do
You
you
can
have?
make it honorable mention. That's fine. Do what you want to do.
I like 911. Brad.
Yeah.
I thought it was Moto. I put
All right, honorable mention. It's sold. 911 is honorable mention.
Hang on. Let me go to my spreadsheet. What's number 1, please?
Depends who you ask.
It's.
I think. Yeah.
Is it overwhelming?
It's overwhelming. 3 of us voted number 1 for it's
Fine.
overwhelming.
And number 2, prayers for Hugo.
All
You
right.
wanted
and then
passionate judges. You got them.
Yes. Well, and yes, this happens every year, so don't feel like.
Well, we had 3 that liked it as number 1, so that's.
Yeah, you can't always be unanimous. You can be anonymous, but you can't be unanimous. Or you can be unanimously anonymous, or anonymous unanimously. I don't know. What was 3rd? Felt like home.
Felt like home.
Felt like home. Okay, the piano piece. And you're not sure about an honorable at this point?
Yeah, 911.
911 honorable.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very honorable. These are all great.